All right, we're here at Art and Construction. I just happened to be in the neighborhood and I bombarded them because they've been a long time customer for decades. And Gary here has agreed to let us do a little filming.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, so this is Gary from Art and Construction. So take us on the tour, Gary.
Well, this is what we call our laboratory, our sample room. We keep all of our current jobs are on these shelves, and then our past couple of years' jobs are on the top 3 shelves. And that just gives us an idea of the color palette and the different finishes that are happening in New York City at this time. And then throughout here we have all these different projects that are going through various sample stages. Some that are on their 2nd, 3rd, 4th submittals. We're playing around with, this is your colors. This is one of the original concrete tiles that we're trying to match. And I think this is one that we did get here. I think that was our match there.
Are these, did you just do these recently?
These are very recent.
Okay,
yeah. These are
I
the
feel like
past couple of weeks.
Andrew came in and got some blue just the other day.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the
It was
blue
like-
I've been making.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I think it was
Yeah.
cerulean and I forget the other one.
Cobalt.
Cobalt.
Yeah. And a few others just to kind of try and. Blues are tough. Blues are one of the harder ones.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
To kind of nail.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
And they all have different tinting strengths too, so it's hard
Yeah.
to like some especially the cerulean has very low tinting strength.
Yeah.
so
That
you
one
gotta use a lot.
It's a good color. But
It's
I gotta
the
use a lot of
actual
it.
cerulean's got tin in it. You don't find that around. Most ceruleans are made with cobalt. This one's got
Alright,
tin. Yeah.
alright.
But it's a beauty, but it's weak.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the animal.
This is some of your pigment in here.
Oh, cool.
I think this is Indenthrone.
Oh yeah, you guys get a lot of indent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's a real strong one. That's a good one.
That's
for
a
us.
very strong one. Correct.
We have other jobs. This is a terracotta job that we're trying to replicate. This is on this side is our weighing room. So we have one scale to hundredths of a gram and another scale to thousandths of a gram.
Oh wow.
Next door, if we need, we have scales to 50 pounds, 100 pounds. In our library of formulas,
Cool.
going back 30 more and more years.
Oh really?
Different aggregates for some of my
Oh,
casting stuff.
aggregates. I know about aggregates.
My fancy additives for my concrete. Different finishes, mineral binders. We get all the things.
Yeah, all the things.
Play with everything. Micas,
Micah's.
glass,
Yeah.
terrazzo. Yeah, this is where it all happens.
Cool.
When it was pandemic times and we weren't able to go and do our work on site because everything was shut down, but we were still getting paid. In order to kind of show that we were still alive and functioning, I started to play around with all the possibilities of what could be done
Yeah.
with cement and gypsum and this particular skill that I have, Scaliola. So we made these sinks. This was the first thing we started making. And this is actually your colors. This is your colors
Oh,
here
sweet.
and here
These are sinks.
and here. And they're sinks. We made a mold, a 2-part mold.
God, these are beautiful.
And we kind of, they're all out of the same mold, so just a different cementitious interior and a different exterior. Because it's 2 parts, I can make them and then put them together and then fill up the void with a structural coat. And this was my playtime, really. It was great. Not that I'm thankful for the pandemic.
Oh
but
God, yeah, I
it
know.
was nice to have that amount of time to play, to just try and create, to see what was possible.
Absolutely.
And then we made these light sconces. This is another version of the coal tar inspired scagliola.
Ooh, let me get up on that.
This is,
oh my God, that's
and
insane.
this is a hydrostone plaster.
Wow.
So, you know,
Ooh,
it's a 2-part mold, the same thing, and then pressed together with a basalt cloth in the middle.
wow,
Very light, very strong.
wow.
This is a lot of your colors.
That's
This is all
so
your pigments.
beautiful. Ah, honored. I love
then-
it. So how does it work as a light sconce? Like this? Like it?
Kind of like this one we have rigged up.
Okay.
This is a
So
this is
just
a little bit more traditional layup, but I did a grid work of veining to kind of twist it, tweak it. This is a little
that's
bit more
very
traditional
cool.
Marezzo, and this would be a little bit more traditional Marezzo. I came to the U.S. in '89 to help restore the New Jersey State House, and the New Jersey State House in Trenton is full of gorgeous, beautiful Marezzo scagliola.
Oh, wow. So you were trained in this technique?
I was trained in England in scagliola, and then was lucky enough to come to the States.
Wow.
Loved it.
Yeah.
In States.
Oh, and here you are.
And now I managed to turn the scagliola into cement. So
Is this
now
scagliola, this
concrete.
chair?
This is scagliola. Well, a form of.
Wow, that's
Scagliola
cool.
is really a technique. This is.
Would you care to, if you could summarize the technique, like real quick to explain, since we're videoing this?
It's kind of like bacon. If you're making a meatloaf and you put all the different ingredients in there and you put an egg in the middle and you pack it all together with some tomato sauce and herbs and spices, and then you take a slice of that, you're going to get a slice of tomato and egg and all the things, and you're going to see that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing,
Wow.
but different.
Okay.
But it's bacon.
It's baking. Yeah, that's what we say about the paint making too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
got to be a. In fact,
it's like chemistry. And
Totally.
bacon. Yeah.
yeah, you got to be a good
But
cook.
we've made a few of these. This was the very first one we made.
Wow.
And I found this plastic Ames chair on the street. And I was
It's
like,
comfortable.
oh,
I'm going to check this
Yeah,
out.
yeah. See that? It's a gorgeous chair.
Let's see.
The chair itself is an
Woo.
Ames
It is really comfortable, man.
classic Ames chair.
Woo! I love it.
A plastic knockoff, but
Man.
and then this is Steve's wife. Her art.
Oh, that's
She does
beautiful.
a lot of pigmented plasters.
Oh, so that's plaster?
This is actual plaster.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
It's got amazing light in it. Ooh, the surface is awesome. Oh, I love a plaster surface.
And then this is our showroom.
Oh, showroom. Here we go.
This is kind of like, well, it's kind of our sample room, showroom. For us, it's a great record of our color formulas. And sometimes clients will come in and they will search through the racks, find their particular things that they like. And it's all kinds of stuff. There's Venetian plasters, traditional lime plasters, veneer plasters, cast concrete.
Wow. So much.
We've got,
How many years worth of work do you think this is?
there's probably, I think there's still some old samples here from 30 years ago. I think Steve is actually celebrating his 40th year of business
Sweet.
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Art Guerra was, had him as a customer before my time.
Yes.
Yeah, going back to the 80s
he talks
maybe.
about the old days
Yeah.
of going in and seeing you guys in town. Yeah.
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 Cool.
But lots of things.
Amazing.
There's a little loaf. So a lot of it is making loaves of different colors, and then you slice them up. This is This is from some sample that I was playing with and making, and then just decided to polish the loaf itself.
I love it. Looks like malachite.
Right, there's a traditional form of malachite. This is concrete. This is pigmented concrete, fancy concrete, not concrete what we think of now, but like a high performance version.
High performance concrete. What are these textured ones over here?
What's that? Oh, I think that's all different shells things. And this faceted surface that we did. This is all cement things, and it's also where I was trying to play with my Scaliola skills and trying to relate them into a different material. Wow. This is more traditional. This is a cut off of a arch that we made. So that's the bit I trimmed off to make it fit. And we just kept them because they look nice. This is a loaf of a little bit more raw of how I make it, and each one of these is actually just a slightly different color.
Oh God, that's so
And then when you
cool.
slice it, you get to play with these kind of laminations and these, and then it's how you combine these, mix these up with. Sometimes I have 12 loaves in a row.
Oh wow!
You know, and we're kind of everything's different and building, and the way you combine them into into a bigger loaf.
How big do the loaves get?
Probably the biggest is about football sized.
Okay. And then you take slices of the loaf and put it together.
You put a big slice. You take a big slice of that, and then you start laying that down.
Okay. Is there any like kneading involved, like with bread?
Lots and lots of kneading. Yeah. Because you're trying to stiffen it up to just the right consistency. Okay. So there's a lot of powder. It's very much like bread making. Yeah. I clear all the benches off, big piles of powder. Wow. Scoop out enough that you can manage.
And do you have to knead the color in also?
I generally try and mill the color into the dry powder. Okay. Or if I'm doing dry pigment, I'll try and mix it evenly into the powder. Or I'll mix liquid into my water, and then that's my measurement. Okay. And then I'll do a whole grade of shades. So I'll take a master color and then cut that with just an unpigmented plaster, so that I get dark to light, and that's actually what's happened here. And then so this is my lightest, and then it gradually creeps down into the darker color to here. Oh yeah. And then these ones are just more compressed and stacked. This is one that I added at the end, so it wasn't as compressed. Wow. You know, the more times you kind of stack and layer, just like making your croissants. Yeah. You know, you're going to get much more
all that
thin, flaky layers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want some thicker layers. Right. And it's usually a combination of both.
So cool.
In order to make it look natural, you know. Otherwise, it starts to look a little false, fabricated. Which was actually what this sample is. That fireplace. That was actually what they wanted. They didn't want it to look like stone.
This was for a fireplace?
Yeah. So we did this on a big.
Yeah, that one's a little more wild.
Organic fireplace.
Oh wow! So what would you say are primarily the jobs you do? Are they mostly walls, or it's just a mix of like furniture, walls, fireplaces?
Predominantly art and construction. We're applying finishes to walls. That's probably 80%.
And can you do these beautiful Scaliola finishes on walls clearly?
Oh yeah, it's just incredibly expensive.
I bet it is. Oh my goodness.
So much time.
Well, you know, people spend lots of money on painting, so why not spend lots of money on an amazing, you know, piece of art for your entire wall?
Yeah, that's a sample of the arches that we did. That was part of that job. Wow. These are the other. This is where I was trying to figure out how to do it on a larger scale. It could be more on walls. So this was the first try. Wow. I think this has potential, but you know, now we need to find a client that's willing to take a leap of faith.
Well, I'm sure they're out there. Oh, there's so much to see in here. There's
Yeah.
so many different finishes.
Yeah, I'm sure
Wow.
Steve's going to be sorry he missed you.
I'm sorry, I did a totally
No, it's fine.
surprise visit.
Yeah. If you're in the hood,
Happened to be in the hood.
just come say hi.
I'm so glad. It's so cool. I mean, we've had you guys as customers for so long. I'm so glad to
Right.
finally come down here.
And there's the face of that loaf. I just polished it.
So beautiful.
So
The
that's
polishing
kinda-
is just with like a sander?
I usually do it by hand.
Oh, yeah?
I'll use mechanics when I need, when it's going to help.
Yeah.
The problem with mechanical stuff is that you usually make bigger, faster mistakes.
Okay.
Like when it goes wrong,
Yeah.
it goes wrong
Real
in a bigger
long.
way.
Yeah.
So
Good
I'll
point.
do a lot of hand tools and carve stuff down,
Mm-hmm.
like with French planes and bertolets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when I get a good finish, then I'll start to go into blocks with paper glued on blocks,
Oh wow.
wet cut,
Okay.
and then maybe I do have an air tool. You know, I have all the tools.
Mhm.
I get to choose what makes sense.
Wow.
But if I have big flat stuff, I'll use a tool, a machine for sure.
Cool.
It just doesn't always happen.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, have we seen? Have we?
You've
Seen
I
everything?
can show
Anything
you
else?
Through the messy bit.
Oh,
you
let's
know?
see the messy bit. I love the messy
This is
bit.
the really messy bit.
That's okay. We all have messy bits
and
in our manufacturing businesses.
The mold making, woodworking tools. You
Mm-hmm.
know? This is the mold. This is the. I need to make a big mold of these because I have 40 to make, and because you only get one pour a day
Uh-huh.
with concrete.
Okay.
I want to pour 10 at a time.
Okay, that makes
I don't
sense.
want to mess around.
So for tiles, you would do molds.
This would be a mold for a little bullnose tile. They found the square tiles that they like, but they wanted a bullnose one, and the company doesn't make a bullnose, so we're making the bullnose part.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely like custom making tiles is really expensive,
Yeah.
but there's only 40 for this for the edge of this little shower niche.
Okay.
Um,
So you do a lot of custom jobs. If people
Everything's
have like
custom.
yeah.
It's like everything is custom. Here's a French plane that I made. You know,
French
this is,
plane. What is that?
A French plane is like a bunch of teeth at an angle, so it has a really aggressive tooth cut,
Okay.
but in a way that cuts gently because all of those big teeth are all lined up.
Uh-huh.
So with things like wet plaster or damp plaster, which would clog up any other cutting tool, it cuts really well with this.
Oh wow.
So I have a whole bunch of these I've made. This is
Oh, you made those?
Yeah. It's just, most of the things, I'm an ornamental plasterer by trade. Almost everything we have to make, you know, when we're running, like spinning big domes or running the negatives for the arch mold. This is actually.
What am I looking at
a
up here?
So this looks like this would be the mold of the smaller light sconces that we were looking at. This is a really big one. This is also pandemic times.
Did you do one this big?
We have not made one yet, and
Jesus,
I'm dying
that's
to make
huge.
one.
Would you? But is that why you made the molds?
Yes.
To be eventually able to make one that giant
Yes.
for like
Yeah.
some massive space.
Yes.
Oh my God! I can just
imagine.
imagine the scaliola. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yep,
Scaliola
that's it.
technique on something that huge
Yeah.
would be just completely insane.
Yeah, and the idea of making it thin and light that would kind of, you know, hurt your brain
Yeah.
because you look at it and think of it as stone or
Yeah.
concrete or some other thing.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I like.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Does the light ever pass through that material?
It can do if you put alabaster in it, which is one of the traditional forms of doing a sienna type stone. is to put alabaster chunks, and the alabaster is translucent, so that can, if it's thin enough, can let like a glow. You'll see a glow.
Okay. Cool.
We've done forms of scagliola with glow in the dark aggregates. We did a great little sink for a powder room where the client wanted us to make it look like the glowworm caves. So we did the entire bathroom with carved stuc pierre with glow in the dark aggregate in it, so that you know, you wouldn't see it with the light on.
Yeah.
But when you turn the light off as you were going out, then it would jump to life.
Oh, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wow. So cool.
So we've done, we'll do almost anything.
Yeah. So people just come to you with like ideas, and then you just figure out how to do it.
They bring their wildest inspirations, and then we try and make that into reality.
We have that in common. We have people come to us with their wildest paint dreams, and we say, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
why
cool.
we like you guys.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Well, geez, Gary, thank you so much for this. This is fantastic.
Thank you. It's great.